Dear colleagues and friends, fellow MEPs and candidates, welcome to the fantastic northwest of England, a region steeped in history, much of which still impacts on our lives today. 7 weeks from today, voters across Britain will be choosing the party that they want to represent them in Europe. As a result, I am honoured to welcome you here as Deputy Leader of the Conservative MEPs, about to embark on my 4th European election campaign. But it is a huge privilege to welcome our Prime Minister, David Cameron, back to our region. But first, I'd like to ask my very good friend and colleague, the Leader of the Conservative MEPs, Syed Kamall, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Europe cannot go on as it is. Europe needs to change. And our relationship with Europe needs to change. And of all the British political parties that voters can choose, let us be quite clear. Only the Conservatives can deliver that change. But ladies and gentlemen, it is an honour to introduce the man who will deliver that new relationship with Europe and who will deliver that referendum for the British people. Since he set out his long-term plan for European reform last year, we have seen a major debate, not just in the European Parliament, but across the EU, in national capitals right across the EU, about how to achieve reform. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Prime Minister, David Cameron.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Jackie, for that welcome, and it's great to be back in the Northwest. And thank you, Syed. You are a fierce defender of Britain's interests. You're absolutely passionate about helping people get on in life, and you are a great leader for the Conservatives in Europe, so thank you for everything that you're doing. I'm particularly delighted to be here today in the light of such good news for Manchester. Announced today those new Cathay Pacific routes between here and Hong Kong, forging stronger links between the Northwest and China, and of course the brilliant enterprise zone here at the airport, which is totally rejuvenating this area, bringing new jobs and new businesses to Manchester. Now, we are just 6 weeks away from those vital European elections, and going into this campaign we have a clear and distinctive message. If you want real change in Europe, you have got to vote Conservative. Looking at the other parties, there are effectively two extremist camps. One says we love the European Union, the other says we hate the European Union. One says we want things to stay exactly the same, the other says let us just walk away from the EU. But in all this, there are 3 words they are missing. 3 words that sum up everything we should be about in Europe. Britain's national interest. British jobs, British opportunities, British livelihoods. And our argument is, you don't maximise those interests by saying everything's fine in Europe, and you don't maximise those interests by walking away from Europe. You get the best for Britain by rolling up your sleeves and fighting for real change in Europe. And this is our big message in these elections. If you want real change in Europe that works for you, that works for your family, that works for your business, then the Conservative Party is the only party that can deliver for you.